identify yourself?
With a bomb.
On the edge.
Literally.
Helps me get my groove on. Music rocks.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Boom Radio.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Boomba right here on your Boom Radio NG. And my name is Ola Delupo. Rachel, warm welcome to the bar and happy labor strike if you are in Nigeria. What's the Washao strike? I'm doing a strike.
Okay. So you're wishing them happy strike.
Happy strike.
Well, my people will say Echo strike.
Echo strike, go, Abby.
Okay.
You just took the words out of my mouth, man.
I know where we are standing today.
Echo strike.
Okay.
To all the Nigerians, even the ones in the diaspora, Echo strike, because one way or the other, you go touch me now too.
Echo strike.
One way or the other.
Especially if you have a business here. Anyway, my name is Tokumbo Jakune. Welcome.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a few things. This very interesting strike day. What? Is it not a strike day?
It's you hesitated in saying it again, so I wondered.
No, I was trying to look for the proper word for it. Yes. So for people that do not know, the labor strike has begun. The indefinite strike has begun, and it seems to be taking shape. That you cannot take away from them. Also, the CBN breaks news this morning talking about Heritage Bank. The CBN is not smiling. So there are a few football transfers here and there. There are a few football stories that we're going to talk about. Also, NAFDAC has also warned about a few things. Additional to that, there's talks coming from the RCCG. There's news coming from that as well. Then there's politics around the world, and so we will take as much as we can before the end of the hour. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. So first things first, of course, there's even no conversation around this. The truth is, the NLC and the TUC strike has begun. For people that do not know why, basically the bane of the issue is that they want to collect 494,000 naira as minimum wage. The federal government and the private sector had decided that they do not have more than 60,000 naira to go on as minimum wage. I think people should say a lot of things because at this point, I'm tired.
It's a little bit not funny. It's no longer funny, because our friends, wherever they're watching us for the past few weeks, they would have felt not a venom, they just a discomfort around the LLC's plan to do different things. They came out with a number, and we felt really out of shape. A number that you couldn't justify, a number that, of course, government can't meet up, a number that's scary to even governors who are even yet to pay the minimum of 30K that some governors haven't paid. And we thought probably NLC should have started its long for strike or picketing with those states that are still, behind the payment for their workers. However, it's beyond them. When they declared this particular move to go on strike, we also shouted hue and cry. And I recall that at a point in time, we were asking them, don't you think this is a misdirected stone you are throwing or casting to the central government? And the bit again was the fact that, okay, government felt, let's listen to you. And Senate also said, come over and let's discuss. I think I watched a bit of that session yesterday. In in national TV, and I also saw the way the discussions went, and they eventually still held ground. No, we are going on strike. We want to strike. And what I saw was, okay, you're ready for a strike this time around, just as they often say. And people have been saying they can't do it. They for whatever reasons, they will call a strike and it won't happen. They call this, it won't happen. So to them, they were actually going to bite. And they felt that was the only way they could bite. So, and for me, yeah, it's about that and a lot more. But come to think of it, I've always looked at the importance of strike and the effect strike would have. We are yet to get to a place on this table, at this bar, where we are going to treat it and talk about, one, is it really legal, okay, to declare a strike? And at this point in time, do you think strike is what we need? I'm going further to say it is not exactly what we need. It's not something that you want to clap for, okay? And people have said the timing also matters, but they've said they've given government a long rope. And the questions are, is it legal? What kind of rope have you given government? What we're here. And we are going to break it down to even tell you that legally, okay, back, it's not right.
Talking about legality and the illegality of it, yesterday the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice I put a warning in a statement saying that Sections 18 of the Trade Disputes Act requires a worker employed in the essential services to give the employer 15 days notice before ceasing their services, and any who do not comply would be liable on conviction to a fine or imprisonment for 6 months.
Okay.
So basically, it said that the 15-day notice is was not informed, but they've been saying that they wanted to go on strike. They've been saying they wanted to go on strike for a while now.
But they've been saying it, but they have not done proper thing.
Exactly.
The proper thing is to...
Also, he is saying that there is also a breach of an order of the National Industrial Court.
Okay.
That they're saying that there is already a ruling,
pending ruling
that they're not supposed to go on strike, that has restrained both the NLC and the TUC from embarking on any industrial action or strike of any nature. So now, with all this now, do we see the federal government taking the labor unions to court again over this? Or how long do this strike would it work? Looking at what the Attorney General has said, because I'm expecting some talks from the federal government over what has happened today.
The banter will be... Shall I want to come in?
No.
Okay. The banter is going to be very heavy, just as you rightly said, pointed at Dolupo. I am looking at the impact of even this day one of this thing.
Okay, sorry. So before we get to the impact, what do you think you expect from the federal government? But sorry, before you answer that, BT 616 says there's something called Oju Kokoro. Apparently, Uncle T here told me that it's Oju Kokoro, not Oju Kokoro. In Yoruba, he says NLC is biting more than they can chew.
Yes, no.
Okay, so please go ahead.
Yes, maybe I just start from that corner point. For me, it's like this. It's like this. Somebody says, okay, I'm going to add another one. Ojutoba ro nirure manso. Okay, don't worry about that.
What does that mean?
Yeah, a soft tissued face. Yeah, is the one that the pimples will settle on and stay on. Rore is pimples. Rore is pimples.
Oh wow! Never heard that.
No,
I've never heard
but we learn every day. I learn from you too. Come on, don't.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Rore.
Go ahead.
And now this is it. The labor guys, have been dangling this protest thing, strike thing for a very long time.
Yeah.
And they have been working hard at it. And they work so hard at it that it's gotten to a point now where people are going to sit back and watch them and say, okay, fine, play along, let's see. Now, in watching them play along was when I started bringing up the illegalities to them. technical illegalities. And these technical illegalities are so strong and powerful that, hey, come, there is a judgment given and saying that you cannot do this again. And they are tied around the other associations as well. The second thing is that your procedure, the way you master it, you have to be very timely with it. You have missed the point. Have you given a warning strike? Okay. How many days has it taken? Have you looked through that procedure? Government is just waiting by to say, okay, we can still fight this thing legally or illegally. They can still fight it. They can take them back to court. They can make an appeal. They can hold on. But I think, honestly, government itself is also being a little bit careful and being wise in this situation.
Oh, they are? You sure?
Yeah.
You sure they're being careful?
Let me explain this. You want to hook somebody down. You play along the table. You play along. They've played along. They have tried to exhaust everything. Senate has called them. Listen to me. Let us talk about this thing. Let's discuss it. Government also invited them before the Senate. They had a lengthy discussion, and this was still adamant. Okay, but ask me questions. What's the government saying? Why is this thing being prolonged? Government is saying, yes, you want a pay rise. We can do that, but what you're asking for is very unreal. What you're asking for is not something we can just
according to the federal
dig down from the
government,
pocket and begin to give to people. When you fight for this for the civil servants, what about the private sectors? Yeah. Where are they going to get their money from all of a sudden?
Everybody else, according to them, they're saying that there's the new minimum wage that they're proposing is 100% increase.
Increase,
yes?
yes.
But what the Labour is proposing, however, is a 1,547% increase.
Shoot beyond, yes.
They're saying that it means that yearly, that means there is a 9.5 trillion naira bill meant to use to pay for about 1.2 million people in a country of over 200 million. What happens to the rest of the almost 190 million people? No, 199 million people. What happens to those people? If they're going to use just that tiny amount of money, all that amount of money, please, how much is the whole budget for the year?
For the year, okay?
So,
for the year.
You know, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, I think that's their name.
Yeah.
So you see.
Are definitely up to something. They come across as a group of people with an ulterior motive. You know, asking for 1,500% increase in your salaries is very unrealistic, and you know it is, and you've been adamant. In fact, you were asking for 615,000 naira, which is even more than that.
615.
It's the back and forth that's led to 400,000 plus, which is still very, very unrealistic. We've analyzed it at this table. In fact, I'm tired of talking about it, but it's our job. But these are the angles that you start to look at. You call a strike, and before you know what's going on, you shut down the national grid. You call a strike, and before you know what's going on, you shut down all the airports. You call a strike, and our children are writing. Yeah. Our children are writing their WAEC exams as we speak. You call a strike, and you shut down hospitals. Who are you fighting for?
Hospitals. They're actually
Who are you fighting
down
for?
hospitals.
The masses now.
Would you believe that?
You call a strike.
Hospitals.
And you go into banks. And you are chasing people out of banks. Who are you fighting for? Who are the people you are fighting for? Now, a lot of people who went to those banks today have gone to withdraw money so that they can buy food and buy fuel to support your strike, to go and stay at home and say, you know what? And you have gone there to chase them out. You see, who are you fighting for? That's the question. If there was a Labour person here, I would wish I could ask him directly. If you're fighting for the people, then you will not fight the adjustments that were made in the electric power generating sector. Nigeria subsidizes power. You guys work in that industry. You have dedicated unions in the power sector. And government looked and said, you know what, the people who are enjoying power the most should pay higher. So all government did was to remove the subsidy on those people. And that's why there's a band A. And band A, B, C, D is not a new thing to Nigeria. It's been happening for years, and it happens in other parts of the world, even in Africa. So, if you really care about the people, understand that those people are now unsubsidized. And eventually, you will look at it as a blessing. Why? It means that they are getting power, and they are making them pay premium for it.
Yeah.
What that also means is that Nigerians should have that at the back of their mind, that once you start to get constant power supply, you're moving to band A. That means reduced cost on the part of government. I don't see how you look at the fact of a matter and you decide to politicize it. And I've been saying it. This Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress that is a member of the Labour Party claims to be the owners of the party are politicized.
Now,
this is not the Labour that we knew. The Labour that we knew was non-aligned, did not belong to any party.
Talking about Labour,
the Sumonus and the what's the guy?
And the Oshomoles
of this world.
The Modus of this world.
But good
so
luck.
now talking about, I think I'm going to hold a bit of brief for Labour Party right now.
You should.
Why? Because according to them, through their spokesperson, they have basically said two things, and they've called on the NLC and the TUC to stop the strike, and they had two reasons. One, they're saying that the strike is just going to worsen the regular person's issues.
Our plight.
It's going to affect the economy adversely. We're already shouting about that. Two, they are also now saying that the 494,000 naira minimum wage demand is unrealistic.
It's
unrealistic. So if even the Labour Party can come out to say that,
which is assumed opposition,
who are supposed to be aligned with the NLC
as opposition,
if
they can
come out to say that,
come on,
I think that you people have your cup is full. And now I wanted to talk about, since we're talking about this
impact too.
That's what I'm not there yet.
You're not there yet.
Now, still talking about the strike that started today, all the way in Plateau State, a few thugs had gone to attack NLC officials. These officials were going to enforce the strike, and some people came out and started attacking them. However, the report now says that these people have now been taken to hospitals, federal hospitals, to get treated.
Who will treat them?
Isn't there supposed to be strike everywhere?
The hospital, which hospital are they going?
They're getting treated.
Now we've talked about impact too. People can't travel. They can't travel out. The airport's closed,
shut down.
Now,
traveling out is, but what happens to traveling within the country?
That was
shut down. The ones traveling out, I'm just saying, closing my eyes, in the heat of those traveling out, you probably will have somebody who is on the danger list for emergency treatment somewhere in India. Medical tourist. Locked down there, inside that place. Mr. Labour.
See, traveling is far. Traveling is far.
It beats
so it
me.
means that I can't go to a hospital now and want to get treated.
It's part of the impact.
That's why I'm saying that traveling is even far.
It's part of
the one that you are here right now
is impact.
It even makes it worse.
Yes, it's impact.
We cannot.
So
hospitals, schools. It's come on.
Even if you go to any of those places, they would not have power. Because the national grid has been shut down.
Literally shut down.
And what that also means is that people need to generate their own power. So apart from people who are blessed to have solar plants and windmills and all,
generators, you have petrol.
You have to revert to your generator. And guess what? A lot of people need to go and buy fuel. Oh, guess what? Most filling stations are shut down, if not all. Some of them have not even sold fuel since Saturday, in anticipation of this strike and all of that. Here we are in a quagmire. And you know what they're basically doing is to squeeze us, the people, we the people. We feel the impact. They were supposed to bounce on government.
Yeah.
No, me, I get sense. Now, Papa, now we they talk to. Nigerian Labour Congress, you do not speak for me. You do not represent me. But you are making my life hell. And guess what? Now, so your own life could be. Because this thing where they do, we not say the sponsor owner. Me, Shola Rogers, I'm saying it on air. There is no way some states cannot pay 18,000.
So states are struggling to pay 18,000.
There's a state that is supposed to pay 18,000 that pays it twice. Now they can't even pay 30. Government is saying 60.
They should be paying that 3.
So from 18,000 to 400,000,
that fight
makes sense to you.
That fight is not even going to end anytime soon.
It can't end
because
it can't.
What happens to
private sector?
There's the issue of states that are still paying 18,000.
Yes, so
sadly, you can't even compel them. There's no law in the land.
We talked about it. That's the truth.
To even compel them to pay the 30,000.
They don't have it.
The 30,000. We're almost sure that maybe if it gets increased to 60,000, the federal government will pay. Remember that what's it called? Edo State is already paying 70,000 naira minimum wage, and maybe one or two. Maybe if we add, maybe Lagos will be able to pay the 60,000 naira minimum wage. Some people had increased their minimum wage to 40,000. Some states had already done that. Are we going to say that a state that increased its minimum wage to 40,000 or 50,000, you now compel that person to pay 60,000? Or someone that has not even got to the stage of 30,000? Are we even thinking?
There's something you have mentioned at this bar before. I'll remind you. Shola, you remember? Sustainability. How did you even hope to sustain it? Okay,
that's what the federal is even saying. They can't even start it.
You can't even start
for
anything.
Just federal alone. They are talking about 9.5 trillion naira every year. What happens to the states? Where do you expect?
Osun State with 18,000. 18,000.
That they're struggling to pay.
The people who work for them,
this strategy,
employees.
This strategy.
They're about 18,000.
Yeah. How do you expect
small but heavy.
The private sector?
They look small but
normally, federal government and private sector never really agree on things.
No, you can't agree easily.
But when you get to a point where they are agreeing on these things, where do you expect the private sector to pay this money? I've said it before, and people are saying that I'm not nice. It does not make. It's not making any. Like, there's no angle.
There's no strategy for them.
There's no angle.
They've not strategized.
There's no angle that you sit down and you look at it and make it make sense. Make it make sense.
You call it strike. You call it strike.
Again, the direct impact this will have on production. What it means is that when you force the private sector to start paying an amount that they do not intend to pay, they're going to pass the cost to you through the cost of production.
Of course.
So what that means is that the so-called people you are fighting for will end up paying more for goods and services than they are paying now. Because the private sector is a business. It's set up to make money. So if you say, okay, they must pay 60K, they say, okay, they must pay 400K. Okay, whatever amount you say, they say, okay. Because what they mean, what they know is that
okay.
No
that
problem.
Okay
now.
Means people might even be retrenched. We can't pay.
Might,
we can,
might or will.
After downsizing,
the downsize.
After downsizing,
yes,
they are still going to pass the extra cost. Because they must make profit.
They must make profit
to you, the end user.
Oh.
So that means the prices of goods will go up. It's a given.
But remember that there is now the issue that some people, of course, got paid for that increase. What happens to the people that never got paid for that increase?
They will suffer it now. They
have to suffer. Sorry,
they will suffer it. Beyond that, beyond that,
let's be consulting our brains.
There's an effect this has also on investor confidence. There's an effect it has on investor confidence in the sense that the investor that are coming in, people who are especially from the outside of Nigeria, will start to look like, how stable is this country? Why do I want to invest in a country that they can shut down the economy? Just two men can sit down and say, you know what, shut it down, like Ajero and Usifo have done. Shut it down. Again, you're trying to build up foreign direct investment. You're trying to get people to come and invest in Nigeria, and what you're doing is basically chasing them away. That's another one.
My question, Shola, is how many presidents do we have in this country?
We have, I think 4 now.
4 presidents.
5.
Right?
Yes.
Including the center.
I really am waiting for.
We have the president of the Federal Republic.
Amen.
Then there are 2 other powerful presidents who are in charge of labor.
Amen.
Then there's another president on
the wings
on Twitter.
Amen.
God
Amen.
will forgive you people.
Amen.
Anyway, definitely we're waiting for updates from the federal government.
Yes.
What the next line of action will be, because the honest truth is that we cannot continue like this. It definitely can't last. It is not making sense.
The people that labor should be fighting for are going to end up, suffering. And the sad part about all of this is that after all said and done, they are going to fail, and people would have suffered in vain.
Yes.
Quote me on this.
Boomerang effect is coming.
Quote me on this. Again, before we move on, I just want to look at how the government is going to handle this. By law, there are several things that they can do.
Of course, yes.
Oh, it's not the first time that they've been taken
one of the
to court.
ideas that I feel that they should do, is to look for alternative workers, especially in health and power generation.
Yeah.
They need to look for alternative workers, people who can restart the grid and work on a contract. You will pay them from these people, because these ones are not working. No work, no pay. You will pay them from these people's salary.
You're not at work. You were illegal. It was illegal for you not to be at work. So you're not getting paid.
Government needs to get that grid started. They went in at 1 a.m., a few minutes past 1 a.m. and shut it down. When there was a power cut at 1 a.m., we hardly ever have power cuts in this neighborhood now. But when there was a power cut at 1 a.m., I smiled. I just smiled. I said, these guys have done it. So government was looking for a way to quickly, as a palliative, to restart the grid and also get people to fill in health and other sectors.
Get these people to realize that it's not a joke. You just can't stop working, and you will feel that it is okay.
And government must not back down.
And I hope,
I can't believe I'm saying this, but government must not back down.
And I hope that they will stand by no work, no pay rule.
Yes, I really hope they do. I really hope
no
they
work,
do.
No pay
it started from the fact that
it.
It's illegal for you to even go. The strike is illegal.
What
I'm really looking forward to what the federal government has to do with this. So we will
daily paid workers. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just remembered the daily paid workers. You're asking to sit down.
They should sit down.
People that get paid every day. That they eat from what they get paid every day.
Daily.
Are you thinking?
On a daily.
Anyway, don't let me. I'm already getting angry.
Markets should get shut now because of you. Because the people
students
who are
writing WAEC.
No, they don't care about them.
Last week, we're talking about students writing WAEC, and it was the terrorists in the southeast that was disturbing them. Now, are you people not behaving like you're terrorists?
No. Do you understand what has happened? WAEC has said the show must go on. WAEC issued a statement.
It's a West African exam. Are they going to stop it because of just Nigeria?
So if a student has not gone there now, Mr. Man, whoever you are, rush there.
They can't stop
it
just because of you.
This exam is gone. If you lose it, it's gone.
It's completely and totally unfair. Completely unfair.
These are the people you are fighting for.
Yes,
those are the people you claim to be fighting for.
Come on.
See, anyway, let's move on from that, because they're beginning to upset me.
Labor upsets you naturally. So.
Oh, they do.
I know.
Any which way.
I know.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has revoked with immediate effect Heritage Bank's banking license. Now, this kind of came as a shock to a lot of people. In fact, most of the time when you hear these things happen, what we hear is that they order AMCON to take over those businesses, and then then they maybe sell to other people and all that. But according to the CBN today, according to the circular that popped up from the CBN today, they are not even supposed to. Basically, the NDIC, that's the Nigerian something of insurance. I can't remember what exactly that is. What they're saying basically is that they're supposed to start liquidating that bank immediately. And in fact, there's already reports of how customers of the bank had already been informed that the NDIC are supposed to return people's monies between till people that have monies less than 5 million naira would get their monies immediately, and people that have more than that until the assets of the bank are being liquidated. Then they get a refund of their money.
Yeah. It's a little bit shocking, but I like the move, because part of what the reasons they outlined was that the bank was financially not stable.
Yeah.
And it was affecting the financial stability of the strength of the nation. And that got me thinking. My question would have been, when the red flags being noticed?
Apparently they've been on it for the past couple of months.
Okay? And it's a very, very sad case. When a whole bank goes like that, by the way, NDIC is being invited to. Yeah, you mentioned it to take over. Okay, and it's probably going to be a very tough one, a very, very tough one. Is it going to be because of the financial system or situation we are going through? What has gone wrong really? Because I would ask that question. One, there are so many banks in Nigeria. What has gone wrong will be a lesson for them to learn from, okay? What this particular bank did or did not do that put them in this situation. We have to ask those vital questions, okay? We are not against, don't shut them down. No, for me, if they are found wanting in the area of financial integrity, yeah, let them be shut down. And then how do you manage the money of the customers? What's going to happen? I don't even think they are in the stocks. I don't think they are quoted on in the stock market, which would be very difficult at the same time, because then a lot more people would have been impaired. The financial status of many people would have been impaired if they had been on the stock market. For me, it's a good thing, and they have to watch it because other banks are on the brinks as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
financially unstable, but they were sponsoring reality show and doing all those things. Isn't that a case of misplaced priorities? Like, before you can even say you want to jump on the bandwagon as a corporate body, that you want to be
adverts.
Yeah, before you do
Can
all
I
of that.
Yoruba?
Yes, sir.
Why
yeah, you would have really gotten to a point where your investors are safe, people's deposits are safe before you start to splurge, before you start to flex, because the bank was flexing a few years ago. So that means they were just doing it, on people's hard-earned funds, and it shouldn't be like that. It's 2024, and it's disheartening to hear about a bank being financially unstable.
Are you saying that the way things are going,
I just
more banks will not be on that list?
I don't know, but the one that we know now is this particular bank, Heritage Bank, and I'm just hoping that people who have deposits there, would have their funds repatriated to them or whatever, in full.
They say if you have less than
no commissions,
5 million, you are not even happy if you get your body.
I wanted us to explain it better so people can understand.
At this point,
there's deductions.
There's one thing that came to my mind that they were saying about that something burnt, and you're asking about the beard. I can't say it on air because these days people are touchy. I know, but
about the head.
Yeah,
of the
a cleric got burnt or something. You're asking for the bed.
Beard. Which beard are you asking for?
You don't look what you are the one that said it all.
Cleric. Anybody. It could be a cleric. Cleric. It could be anything.
Not be the beard go first born.
Oh my God.
You're talking commission.
But no.
If they give you commission, you go take.
You know why he's saying what he's saying. It's because he doesn't have account there.
Do you have?
Wait, let me finish. Shout out to you people watching. Last week, was it Thursday or Friday?
What happened?
Thursday. I was opportuned to help him use his ATM card. Let me finish.
Okay.
And there was an issue with the card. I think it was the network on the POS. You would think it's mega thousands that were there. When I told him that the thing was not working, what did he say? I want to go and remove all my body there. I mean, Just because of one single wait. One single incident.
Round it up on time. I
don't single incident.
Okay.
Ouch.
Now let me explain it.
If he, I can categorically say,
if I had
if you had a, you will even be here.
No, let me explain it.
You would not be sitting
Let me
here.
explain it. For integrity purpose, right? You took the card. I gave you the card. We were going to purchase something on behalf of everybody. Okay? Fine. And thank God you had your card to bail you out.
Okay.
Because you left with the whole mind and confidence that, Mr. T's card now. That was And so when you now called me and I said, well, I felt so disgraced. Look, listen to me personally.
I'm the one that went to buy it.
You don't get it. Disgraced. You took the car. It was integrity matters now.
Okay.
So when you landed that thing, I said, oh my! And then you also gave the option. It definitely would have been what do you call it? Downtime on the Wi-Fi or something, network problem. And I said to myself, okay, network problem on that bank. I will not mention the name of the bank. Okay, it means therefore that bank for me is not reliable. And then that's a personal thing. I felt bad. Okay, so I said, okay, don't even worry. I know what to do. I'll go and move everything I have.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree. I said it.
You were going to just because of one ATM card incident. Imagine if you are not asking for
you don't know what it means. So.
Okay, I don't.
Okay, don't worry. Let's leave it.
I don't know what it means.
But that other thing can happen. I don't just go to banks easily. Yeah, but this one is sad. It's a beginning for many of the customers.
Maybe it's a revolution for the Nigerian banking system.
Yeah, we've had it before, but thank God we agree with me as well, and I agree with you that we've got to do a serious search on other banks.
If it's not working, it's not working. And you know what this reminds me of? That remember that in the past couple of weeks, take for example the issue of the former CBN governor and the amount of monies that have been seized from him.
Yes.
If you go and look at those things, there's a particular recurrent bank that keeps popping up in those transactions. The issue with for me is that if they now remove all these monies that are being forfeited, how will some of those banks stay?
Well, we don't know what the banks have. Maybe what they are removing is the bulk of the money, or just a fraction of what they've been able to amass. Anything can happen.
Anyway,
but again, the CBN should also be commended for taking this step. And I hope that next time it doesn't take this long. And finally, because we're moving on, I know. Anyway, that means we're moving on. The depositors, this is why they always favor certain banks. Even if we have 20-something banks in Nigeria, the bulk of the people I know will revolve around the very old generation banks and one or two of the newer ones.
Gen Zs, yes.
So, any which way, moving on from that, we're going to maybe still a little bit of money matters. Today, the International Air Transport Association has officially announced that Nigeria is no longer indebted to foreign airlines. According to them, Nigeria has paid 98% of their debt.
Yeah, I saw what IATA put out yesterday, and one of the things that they talked about is how it's actually a global trend. Jeez. There's so many countries on that list, Pakistan and many countries. Nigeria paying off that reduced the global glut of funds by a substantial amount. But there are other countries who owe in hundreds of millions also. They were extremely happy, and they're saying now that there's just a $90 million left, that the CBN says they won't pay that until they've verified if it's a real claim or not. What that also does is that according to the IATA people, that more airlines will be interested in flying the route now. that people would be interested in doing business with Nigeria, knowing that their funds will be repatriated, And I think it's a major win for Nigeria as a country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
That we've left that terrible group of countries that are sitting
and it was
on
such a very interesting conversation. There was something that everybody talked about and all that. Apparently, it's not making headlines anymore.
I don't even want to go petty with
it's not making headlines anymore.
I know we had a major discussion about it.
It's not making headlines anymore.
We need to also realize that when things are good, let's say it, and when things are bad, let's say it.
We should actually.
I think the government has done well this time.
Okay, so NAFDAC has warned Nigerians against the use of pesticides and chemicals like sniper to preserve food. Now, I think this came on the heels of a video that was going around where a particular trader, what we know as stockfish, a trader was using this sniper of a thing, and it says that it kills, that there is nobody that sells it that do not use it, that it kills ants and all that weevils from getting into their stock. However, you are selling these things to people that is poisonous. Make it make sense.
Yeah, sniper is not meant to be ingested. Sniper is not something that you're supposed to put on food that people are going to eat. Sniper is meant to kill pests. Basically, that's what it does. And it also has the inglorious pleasure of being the choice. I don't want to
chemical.
The choice chemical to ward off such pests or thereabout.
That people
unalive.
that people have used in recent times. In fact, there are several songs and jokes about it, and it's like the go-to, chemical. When people
even when they want to take a flight,
take
a flight, really.
Yeah.
So the thing is that
it's risky.
I saw that video, I think about 2 weeks ago, and I was in shock. Now human beings were very terrible people. We're honestly terrible. The first thing I said to myself, thank God I know they chop this thing, right? But what about the people who do?
Who do?
Yeah.
Do you know your brother, your sister, your neighbors, your auntie?
Just suspect.
You don't know.
They just buy
and they're going to spend their money, hard-earned money, to buy poison.
And eat.
And again, the level of
the fact that I think that at times is driven by maximum profit
and ignorance.
Look, Shola, ignorance, capital, IG. Look, you know why? The day we saw bottles of alcohol being adulterated. You remember that thing? We saw it. We discussed it at the bar.
And
I just sat back.
Those ones are even very obvious. The less obvious ones.
You don't know when they are going
No,
to
what I mean is that the people doing them, they know. Do you understand? Where a lot of ignorance comes in is that these traders, half of them don't even know what they're doing is wrong. I think it also calls to, remember was it you and I where we saw, I think it was you talking about how people put plastics inside stuff they used to grill.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you understand? It's the level of ignorance.
Yeah. They use it to grill chicken. They use it to grill even meat for shawarma and everything. They do it. A lot of people who grill put plastic to start the fire. I accosted a guy once and he said, that it makes the fire burn well. And of course, they end up spending less on fuel. Mm-hmm. It probably doesn't even need kerosene per se. Or petrol or whatever. That he wants the charcoal to burn well. So he uses, these PET bottles and just
once it melts, it picks the fire up.
It doesn't, like I
people
said.
People are ingesting
those
unknowingly.
things. NAFDAC needs to do a lot more. I know you put my laugh, but maybe it's time to resurrect the National Orientation Agency.
They said it's there.
Is there?
It's there. That they are working.
It's not dead, though.
It's there. It's working.
It's not dead.
No, it's not dead.
They said it's working.
They said it's working it's working.
I believe it's working.
You believe?
You know why? It's part of what we are doing. Orientation is what we are doing.
I'm not part of.
She's being specific about
Nigerian orientation. Some people are getting paid for it.
To
orientate people.
I know to orientate people. I get you. Especially, of course, we need them. There's a new anthem now. We still need reorientation.
Anyway, moving on from that quickly, there are a few football stories and international stories. But before we go there, there's a very interesting gist that popped up earlier before we came at the bar. And it's about a church. The RCCG, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, is a global church, pretty common. And now they have announced the suspension of City of David's pastor, Iluyomade. Now, a lot of people are talking, and according to reports, they're saying that basically one of the major issues for the suspension of the pastor and his wife from the church was the lavish party that they went ahead to do her 60th birthday party, where it was just a few days after a very prominent member of the church had died. Also, the fact that another reason was that one of the ministers, or one of the artists that were brought to serenade the celebrant is a secular musician that was brought to. So, according to reports, a new pastor had reported to the church yesterday already. Said a Pastor Charles Bande of the RCCG Resurrection Parish of Region 11 of the church had resumed there on Sunday. There also talks about how there was a need to investigate some of the things, even some allegations some members had brought forward to the pastor and his wife.
In matters of religion and culture and tradition, you want to revert to structures that are on ground. You want to revert to history, you want to revert to the Constitution, or, in this case, the Bible. And in all of this, even the suspension of the pastor and his wife, is it biblical? Do you understand? For instance, it is assumed that God has called someone.
Anointed.
So did God uncall him?
No, he made a mistake.
I'm going to okay, now you can explain to me.
He made a mistake.
Because, when you get a call...
No, what else you call somebody? You call somebody.
It's God that called him, maybe, with phone call. Say,
yes, sir.
Iluyomade, you are now a pastor.
Have you received your own call?
Full auction.
It's
full
not about
auction.
me.
He's anointing.
So, now that they have now uncalled him, is it God that uncalled him?
I don't know.
No. This language.
Moving on.
Suspension. It just be suspended
moving
for 3
on
months.
to the next.
You have used it anyway.
It's question that I'm just asking. I'm not asking innocent.
No,
question.
he wants to say something.
He will say it, but me, I'm not done.
No, let him talk.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Let
Sorry.
him
I just ask one question.
You're not done. Please do.
Another question I want to ask now is that
Talking
sorry now, I should not ask question again. Flavor know that you have sacked a pastor now. They should ask him, because it's Agbabola, so that maybe they can collaborate. Him and you, because they say they have good.
It's a serious matter.
Am I playing?
You are joking. You're not playing.
Why, pastor guy?
You're not playing. You're joking.
Wait. You
no.
wait, Ogunbo. See, you two see.
You to see. Of all people, is Flavor that is whining waist.
There's Pastor Wale Ajayi there that blow parara.
Let me say
Pastor Wale Ajayi that blow parara. Kule
Can I
Ajayi.
say
You do
something?
parara. Did you call him?
You don't call him.
You did call Natalia that blow
You did not call.
parara.
Don't knock that thing again. I'll fight you.
You did not.
Now,
He say,
let me
we have
You
to.
did not call.
No,
we have to-
There are too many people.
I'm going to ask you a question, Dolupo. The letter that was given
I was not there. I don't
To
go
call
to
him
City of David.
or uncall him.
the
Suspend. Which one is your call?
The church actually states that they stated that because of this party they held because of this circular.
Which kind of question is this one?
Wait.
You would think that's a part of the government council.
I'm asking this question.
You set yourself up.
No, I expected the church to have just said he's been moved.
No, it's suspended.
Suspension
suspended.
Is okay.
You are not moved though.
You are
go home.
No. You are being political.
Go home.
I'm not being political.
Go
you
home.
are being pharmaceutical.
They didn't say go to another church. They say go home for 3 months.
Suspension, right?
Go and rest.
Now are we the ones assuming that it must have been because of
No.
Did they suspend him last year?
Did they
suspend him 2 years ago?
No.
Did they suspend him 4 years ago?
No, I don't. I personally, there's something not right.
That's why they're
suspending.
Okay,
is Flavor right? Flavor is not wrong.
You're a good guy.
No.
But
Flavor has no business in
it's
this
not his fault. What's his own? They call him for a job. He showed up to the job. But let's call it spade a spade. I think that I even think that the Flavor thing, yes, the optics of it might not look good, and that's the truth. But I feel that the optics was even worse with the
solemn event.
The ceremony around where someone that had was one of your most revered members, him, his wife, and his child. Few days after, you throw a lavish party. Where is the humanity in us?
They don't postpone party for una.
Like it's not even about being a church member. It's about someone that you know personally. Couldn't it have been postponed? Are we joking? The optics of it don't look good.
Move it away from that.
It doesn't look
scenario.
good. It doesn't.
Move it away. Yeah.
I don't know, Sha, but anyway, Sha, they shall say people should go for 3 months. We'll hear what they have.
The result will still come out.
The results will come out.
We give updates here.
But in between, they can do a song that they remix.
Don't look up, please. Can we go to the next?
They can remix.
Let's go to the next.
Okay. Moving on from that, let's do a bit of politics around the world. The ANC, for the first time in a very long time, has lost outright majority in the South African polls. We see a lot of change in politics around the world. Also, Mexico as official.
Before you move away from South Africa, I just want to chip in that I expected the EFF to perform better than they did.
They did.
Because Malema seemed to have gained a lot of crowd.
I think that is a lot of mouth.
But I was shocked that even the MK, that is a party that started, I think, last year or so, got more votes than
Mr. Malema is more.
And again,
motivational speaking.
You kick another politician out. You think he's down? No, the man has just shown them now. So the ANC have their work cut out for them. I don't know what their parliament is going to look like, though.
Because it's very dangerous. Remember that with the issue of is parliament that picks the prime minister and all that. So it's a very delicate thing. Now we'll see how. You wanted to say something about that?
No, I just wanted to say that generally in SA, there are issues around various political parties and the politicians. There is some discontent. People still feel, that things aren't moving well. I shouldn't be saying this because here as well, things are pretty tight. But in South Africa, talk to them on the streets, they all have things to say.
They have things to say. Anyway, so we'll definitely follow that. We'll see what that is going to mean for South Africa. Now, Mexico has officially won. With landslide, they've officially got their first woman president.
Yeah, Mexico has shown the world now, Hopefully their neighbors too.
The Americas will
learn from it.
This.
Hopefully, but
now,
it's wishful thinking on my part.
The India as well just finished voting. Okay. They went through about 6 weeks of voting. And the panel has talked about, they have not announced, they're still doing a lot of counting, but about 642 million people voted.
Yeah, when I saw that number, I'm like, that's more than 3 times the number of Nigeria. in itself.
Yeah.
And in a country that has billions of people.
Oh yeah, they have the largest voting power in the world.
They have shown, that voter apathy is not a thing for them. I don't know how they achieved it, but I'm really impressed with the turnout. Over 640 million people voting. It's amazing.
That's really good.
And in this neck of woods, people will sit back at home, and leave voting to other people, then complain about the results. A big shout out to India for
I think culturally, politics has been in their mainstream.
It's something that they do a lot. I agree. I think I agree with you.
Mahatma Gandhi days, way back.
Okay, now
talking about no.
It will know.
I thought I was even going to say Indira Gandhi.
No.
But he said Mahatma.
It will know.
The age of the calicos. The man introduced calico.
Yeah, you will know that.
I know.
Anyway,
I'm closer to that. You said.
What about Rajiv? Rajiv is also. He's too young for you.
You should know about that.
I should have.
And it's not Rajiv, it's Rajiv.
Oh, Rajiv.
Okay. Now, before we quickly go, let's do a bit of sports. As Manchester City has now been warned of Premier League expulsion due to their financial fair play charges. They're looking at about 115 charges.
If you want to sack them, Joe. Let the thing.
This has been dragging too long. I agree with you. Let's know what we are doing. Let's know what we are doing next season. Is there going to be Man City? If not, let's know the people that are playing.
They cannot touch them.
You sanctioned Everton.
I think they can.
They can't touch them.
They sanctioned Everton to the league. Everton survived it. If you want to do it, do it.
Do it, and let's know what's.
A wise man once said, if you want to talk.
It's not a bad thing. Let them go and play championship.
Sorry, if you want to shoot. If you want to shoot, don't talk.
Another wise man.
A wise man said it.
Anyway, Chelsea has officially announced Enzo Maresca as the new manager. Iluyomade says, hello guys.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing? Happy strike.
Are you on strike?
Yeah, Echo strike.
Anyway, also Kylian Mbappe is said to be announced for Real Madrid. From his transfer, is not also announced in the Olympic team of for France as well.
Yeah. So Kylian, everybody, is the worst kept secret in the world of football. We thought it was going to go 2 years ago. It didn't work. He stayed back last season, shockingly, wound down his contract, and is leaving.
As a free agent,
as a smart guy.
Yes, he's doing that. Quickly, finally, before we go, the Nigerian, the Super Eagles camp is officially open. There are about 15 people in that camp.
Numbers should have increased by now, though.
It should have increased by now. There are a lot of people that are still expecting. Also, remember that a lot of people are just ending their season.
Yeah.
Basically.
And this is just hoping that Super Eagles will get it right. Their former coach, Parcero, already put them in a terrible place. They lost too many points, played draws where they should have been winning. And Finidi has work cut out for him.
It definitely does. So with this, will they not be going to the World Cup 2 times in a row? That definitely have a lot of work cut out for them, like you had said. Anyway, on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow to give you a lot of updates of things that we have talked about today and more gist tomorrow. Please do have a beautiful.
Restore the national grid, though.
Who said that?
Me.
Oh, okay. You are telling them to restore. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care.
Shut up.
If I had...